Hello, this is Lacquerography, and this is my wish list for February 2025's polish pickup. The theme this month is Fables and Folklore, and the shop is open February 7th to the 10th. I've already gone ahead and made a preliminary first impressions wish list, and right now I have 16 items that are catching my eye. Let's dive right in and take a look at those 16 items. The first item up is by BCB Lacquers, and this one is called Aesop's Fables. This one was inspired by the book of Aesop's Fables, and it's described as a mint crelly with a strong pink, orange, gold shifting shimmer. As a green lover, this item caught my eye right away, and I think part of it is the fact that this is having me dreaming right now of the start of warmer spring days. I'm a Canadian, and I get the benefit of experiencing all 4 seasons in all their full glory. And at this point, our winter this year has been a little more harsh than it's been in the last several. So at this point, I'm craving a little bit of sunshine, a lot of greenery. It has been very bitterly cold for the first time in a while, and with quite a bit of ice and snow cover throughout the winter so far. So a polish like this one, this fresh minty green crelly with this warm shimmer, this is really everything I'm craving in the next couple of weeks. I do have to take a look at my collection though. As a green lover, I have the feeling that I might have a couple of polishes that are leaning a little bit more similarly to this one. I will have to take a close look at my collection, absolutely as a green lover too, to make sure that I'm not really duping myself. But this really is a gorgeous and fresh offering, and we're off to a very strong start here this month. This one is by BCB Lacquers, Aesop's Fables. The next item up is by Bluebird, and this one is called It Bears Repeating. It Bears Repeating was inspired by Echo. Echo, a mountain nymph, was cursed by Hera to only speak the last words of others. This is a shimmery silver that shifts a pale pink lime yellow. It has hollow flakes and pink metallic flakies. And there's only 400 of these polishes available. So when I saw this polish, this one caught my eye for a few reasons. First of all, I really loved the delicate nature of this polish. It's everything that appeals to me right now. It has an iciness to it that appeals to me right now in these really cold, snowy, icy days of February. With this warmth to it as well, the pale pink lime yellow, as well as the pink metallic flakies, to me it seems like a perfect transitional polish from winter to spring. Just that warmth through that iciness is really everything that appeals to me in those transitional times. Another thing that attracted me to this polish is that it's sort of a blingier take on a neutral. The lightness and the delicacy of this polish makes it seem quite buildable. And I think that there could be quite a versatility to this one, wearing it in 1 coat or 2 coats, maybe even 3 coats. It doesn't really list it as it being a sheer in any way, but it seems like it might have that kind of versatility. I can see the swatcher's visible nail line through this quite a bit. I also find that for me, it's a little bit of a flashier neutral. I think I could get 4 seasons a year, all occasion kind of use out of a polish like this one. It's a little bit flashier than a typical sort of cream neutral for sure. But there is something about this color, being a neutral colorway with a bit of a flash. I think it's really quite special and versatile, but still delicate. The more I look at this polish, the more I look through all the different swatch photos, the more I really love this one. I also find that this polish looks completely unique to anything I have in my collection, and I think it's also quite unique for me in terms of the offerings that I already own by Bluebird Lacquer. I don't think I have anything that quite resembles this, and I'd love to try this polish out. I think it looks outstanding. So this polish is by Bluebird Lacquer. It Bears Repeating. This next polish up is by Cleona Cosmetics, and it's called Rumpelstiltskin. It's a golden magnetic nail lacquer that pulls to reveal a maroon jelly base with scattered holographic glitter. It's inspired by the German fairy tale of the same name. So for me, this is one of my top picks this month. I love Cleona Cosmetics. I am a Canadian. This is a Canadian brand that is near and dear to my heart. I've made many, many purchases from this brand directly from their own website. And I've loved every single item that I've purchased from them. I'm just in love with the colorway of this one. For me, automatically I'm thinking fall. It's a gorgeous fall polish. But the fact that this one is golden to maroon, like it just has this really unique, rich take on a neutral. It's better than a brown. It's more wearable, I think, than a typical gold. There's just something about this one that is making my heart so happy. Again, I don't think I have anything at all quite like this polish. I'm finding that's kind of a trend for me this month. I'm finding there's a lot of really unique offerings, and this one was such a standout for me. This beautiful magnetic is by Cleona Cosmetics, Rumpelstiltskin. This next polish up is by Cupcake Polish, and this one is called Cardigan. With this polish, Cupcake Polish decided to take inspiration from their favorite folklore this month, the album kind, inspired by The Cardigan from Taylor Swift's Folklore. I remember where I was the day Taylor dropped Folklore as surprise to us during one of the craziest times in most of our lives. This album will always be so special to me, and I'm excited to have created a polish to capture the essence of Cardigan. Cardigan is an off-white crelly with blue and gold shimmers. It is packed with gold, red, green, iridescent Aurora flakies and just a touch of dusty blue metallic flakies. So this one is so interesting to me. It has really crept up on me as perhaps one of my top picks, but I'm really not quite sure. You know, it's really kind of funny. Like I've liked the way it looks on every swatcher where I see images. I think I'd really love to see some video swatch footage of this polish to really be sure. Now, I don't really consider myself at all to be a Swiftie, but actually at first when I saw the name of this one being Cardigan, I am familiar with the song, and actually I think it's a good song, but I'm also a knitter, and so that idea of a cozy, beautiful cardigan, like it caught my attention as a knitter, so that was kind of an interesting thing. But again, there's something about this polish being a really interesting take on a neutral. It's got these delicate flakes, this really interesting off-white crelly base as well. There's so much about this polish that appeals to me right now, as I said with some of the previous polishes. It has a wintry aspect to it, a bit of a frosty, iridescent kind of look that makes me think of ice and snow, but also the idea of thaw and melt and early spring. Like to me, it looks like a perfect transitional polish from winter to spring as well. Very seasonally appropriate to the types of offerings that attract me in February. Another thing is I haven't purchased anything from Cupcake Polish in quite a while. I've actually never shopped directly from their website before. I've only really picked up their offerings through Polish Pickup. It has been quite a while since I've purchased from them. And every polish I've ever picked up from Cupcake Polish has been truly outstanding. And I have the feeling that even though I'm sort of waffling on this item, I'm not quite sure why. I guess it's that I really want to see that video footage to make sure that this one has the kind of coverage that I'd be looking for in 2 to 3 coats. But in the back of my mind too, I think I always know that the quality of Cupcake Polish always exceeds my expectation. So in that sense, it makes me want it even more. So I'm not quite sure at this point where this one lies in the rankings of my wish list. It could be really high. Also, I could find that it might fall off my wish list as well. So this one's an interesting one. I'm going to have to do a little more research. This really interesting off-white crelly, this one is by Cupcake Polish, Cardigan. This next item up is one that I've never tried before, but considering the tough weather that I've had this winter in my part of the world, my hands need a lot of TLC. So this product is the Cuticle Remover and Cuticle Oil Pen Duo by Glisten and Glow. Glisten and Glow is back for February's PPU with our Cuticle Remover and Cuticle Oil Pen Duo. And it says that the Cuticle Remover is unscented And the cuticle oil is scented in strawberry, and it's described as being a sweet and juicy scent of ripe strawberries with just a hint of sugar. So it does go on in the description. I won't read the whole thing, to describe a little bit about the way that these products are used and also about the benefits of these products. Now, I've never tried these products before, but I have heard great things. And while this is the harshest winter we've had in my part of the world, Canada, in quite a while. It's been snowier, it's been icy, and we've had more extreme cold days this year than we have in my area in several years. I am really noticing and feeling the effects that it's been having on my skin and on my nails. I'd love to give this product a try, just to give my nails a little bit of a helping hand in terms of some extra TLC heading into the spring. I really think that for me, in my life, in this climate, this is a perfect time for me to try this product. So this one is the Cuticle Remover and Cuticle Oil Pen Duo by Glisten and Glow. This next item up is by Cuticula, and this one is called Fairest of Them All. This one is inspired by Snow White. Fairest of Them All is a mint crelly base with ultra chrome flakes that shift red, green, gold, orange, yellow. And luckily for me, there's no listed cap for this one. So at this point, it appears that this maker may be able to create as many polishes as required to fulfill all orders this month. Now for me, for many of the same reasons that I've talked about, this one is appealing so much. This one just to me has all the spring vibes. It also to me has a bit of a fall look as well, which to me adds a little bit of versatility to it. Maybe even summer, in fact. This mint crelly base really does have quite a nice vibrance to it. I think the brightness of this base makes it really appealing for spring. I think it could be equally appealing for summer and for sure for fall. These ultra chrome flakes look so much like falling leaves here. One thing that I'll have to take a close look at is in my collection. I know that I've placed an order for a polish by Night Owl Lacquer, and I actually haven't received it yet. A few weeks back, we did have a Canada Post strike here in Canada, and I'm still just receiving a lot of my shipments from across the last 3 months or so, since about November. So there is still a bit of a backlog. It's not too bad. Most of the things have come in. I am a little bit unsure about a polish that I ordered by Night Owl Lacquer that I think has a little bit of this kind of a look to it. Now, I know that it's a look I love. I don't necessarily know that I need two with this kind of colorway, so I'll have to take a close look out for that. Hopefully I receive that final package sometime in the next short while, just so I can make that comparison. But otherwise, I mean, this one really is a standout looking polish. I see spring, summer, and fall here, and I think this is a really fresh offering. This one is by Cuticula, Fairest of Them All. This next one up is by Garden Path Lacquers, and this one is called Demi Devil. This polish was inspired by the fabled half-devil creatures of lore and the moniker for musician Ashniko's fan base. Now, I hope I said that name right. Demi Devil is our signature micro glitter and shimmer formula. It really packs a punch with an electric violet jelly base, purple holographic micro glitters, and blazing red-orange ultra aurora shimmer. Now for this polish, this one has made my wish list purely because I absolutely love this type of formula that Garden Path Lacquers has been producing lately. I have purchased a great many of them and I love them all. And it's one of those finishes for me that I would love to own in pretty much every color of the rainbow. It is just so eye-catching and satisfying. I really can't say enough about what to me is becoming kind of a signature formula for Garden Path Lacquers. This one is by Garden Path Lacquers, Demi Devil. This next item up is the Hand and Body Scrub by KB Shimmer, Spring Blooms. There is quite a lengthy description that goes along with this, so I won't read the whole thing, but jumping ahead to the scent notes of this product, it says, like a gentle breeze through a field of wildflowers, its fragrance begins with a delicate hint of wild lavender. Sweet apple notes and a touch of lemon leaf harmonize with rich sandalwood and amber undertones. Its soft purple hue is a perfect way to welcome a new season, or at least pretend that spring is near. I love lavender scents. Lavender scents have always been a favorite of mine. I find them so just relaxing, kind of my own aromatherapy. The fact that this one would be a very welcome spring scent, very fresh sounding, this one really appeals. I haven't really tried one of KB Shimmer's more floral leaning scents before, and for me, this would be such a perfect opportunity to do so. This one is the Hand and Body Scrub by KB Shimmer, Spring Blooms. This next one up is by Lemming Lacquer, and this one is called Brigid. Brigid is a green jelly with gold to copper aurora shimmer, gold holographic sparks, multichrome flakes shifting red to copper to gold, and iridescent flakes shifting from copper to gold to green. Inspired by Brigid, or the Exalted One, was the Irish goddess of spring, fertility, and life. Beloved by poets, she was the master of both healing and smithing. Her holiday, Imbolc, and I hope I said that correctly, was held on February 1st and marked the midpoint of winter. There are only 250 of these polishes being made available this month. Now, I'm a green lover, and when I saw this vivid green this month, I immediately added this one to my wish list. Now, I do have a fair number of green nail polishes. I will have to see how I end up liking this one compared to many of the others in my wish list this month. I'll also have to compare this offering to the many others that I have in my collection already to make sure that I still love this one as much as I think I do. But the brilliance of this green, this fresh kind of emerald leaning green, is really quite breathtaking to me. Lemming Lacquer is a brand where I've tried a few of their polishes, but I really haven't tried very many. And it seems like several of the ones that I've chosen from Lemming have been quite vibrant. And I think that they handle that really quite well. There's something about the way they work with their pigments. I appreciate the brightness of the hues that they create. So this brilliant vivid green is by Lemming Lacquer, Brigid. This next polish up is by Lurid Lacquer, and this one is called, and I hope I'm saying this correctly, Sneeuwwitchen. Sneeuwwitchen is inspired by the Brothers Grimm version of Snow White. Sneeuwwitchen features a red base with twinkly red shimmer and red light reflective glitter. There are only 500 of these being made available this month. At this point, Lurid Lacquer is still quite a new brand in the indie nail polish landscape, but it seems like everything they produce is a hit. I've only recently, just in the last couple of months, been able to start getting my hands on Lurid Lacquer after just pining after seeing people from the United States getting their hands on these Lurid Lacquer polishes and me not being able to have them. They were only available for the longest time just domestically in the US. And being a Canadian, it really wasn't until I think it was November when international shipping finally opened up to Lurid Lacquer fans. And unfortunately, I had my shipment held up by the Canada Post strike that was going on. So I've only just received my shipment very recently. This polish is so vibrant and sparkly. Red is just a recent love of mine. It seems like every red that I've been putting on my nails since I've really gotten into red just a couple of years ago has just been taking my breath away. And this one just looks sensational. The depth of this color, the vibrance of that red, it looks like such a decadent cherry. And then the addition of these twinkly reflective glitters, as well as some shimmer too. It just seems to have everything that I want. And actually, for all these reasons, this one is another one of my top picks this month. I would be really sad if I couldn't get my hands on one of these 500 bottles that are being made available of this polish this month. Friday is a work day for me, so I'm going to have to really hope that I can have a quiet moment so I can place my purchase right when the shop opens at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on February 7th. This jaw-dropping red is by Lurid Lacquer, Sneeuwwitchen. This next polish up is by Night Owl Lacquer, and this one is called Bat Squatch. This is a dark purple glowing with a vibrant cobalt indigo violet shifting shimmer. And this one is inspired by Bat Squatch, a mythological creature said to live in Washington state with a body similar to Sasquatch, bat wings, and a wolf-like face. It's said to rule the skies and land and is unique to Washington. And it says that there's 800 of these available. This is another one that when I saw it, I immediately added it to my wish list because I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And not only that, I love Night Owl Lacquer. Again, it seems like every single polish that I own from them, and I own quite a few, is just a standout. The formula, no matter what the type of formula it is, whether it's a cream, whether it's a shimmer, whether it's a flaky or anything else, it always seems to exceed my expectation. And so when I saw a color like this one, which is unique to my Night Owl Lacquer collection, I had to immediately add it to my wish list. Now the problem is a color like this is not entirely unique to my collection. I do own a few colors that would be considered quite similar, and in fact, some might consider them almost dupes. Colors like Mooncat's House of Hades, Polish for Days, Goblins and Ghoulies. I really don't need this polish, but I so desperately want it. The moment I saw this one and saw that this was a Night Owl Lacquer offering, I had to add it to my wish list. So again, I'll have to take a look at my collection. I may have to actually swatch out and, quite frankly, wear my Polish for Days, Goblins and Ghoulies for the very first time. I haven't worn it yet. That's embarrassing to say. But I just so desperately want this polish by Night Owl Lacquer. I think this would be another one that would absolutely exceed all expectations. This one is by Night Owl Lacquer, Bat Squatch. This next one up is by Pinnacle Polish, and it's called Lights of Valinor. Inspired by the trees Telperion and Laurelin, and I hope I've said that correctly. This polish is a light olive green base with fine holographic shimmer, gold shifting shimmer, and scattered gold and silver holographic microglitter. There are only 250 of these available. Now for me, I have a lot to say about this one. First of all, Pinnacle Polish is a brand that would be brand new to my collection. I don't have a single polish by Pinnacle, and I've heard great things about their formulas and their offerings, so I would love to give this polish a try. If you've tried Pinnacle Polish, I'd love to know your thoughts about the brand and the polishes that you've tried out, so please feel free to add any comments and feedback. I'd love to know your honest thoughts. Also, I said before, I'm a green lover, and this is yet another green. This kind of an olive color, but yet with the holographic shimmer, the gold shimmer, and as well the micro glitter. Like, I think this would be just so pretty. In a way, pruggly, but for me, just pretty. It would be a perfect opportunity, I think, for me to try out this brand for the first time with a color that I know I'd really love. This polish is by Pinnacle Polish, Lights of Valinor. This next polish up is by Polish for Days, and this one is called Salamandra. This one has a deep navy base with orange, gold, green shifting iridescent shimmer. The inspiration is fire salamanders. And it says $1 per bottle will be donated to an LA Fire Foundation or charity that still needs the most help when the PPU sale ends. Fire salamanders have been said to be able to both create and put out flames. In some stories, they are fire resistant. My thoughts go out to everybody who has been affected by the LA fires. I hope that you are all safe and doing okay. I realize that recovery is going to take an enormous amount of time. Those fires were devastating. So my thoughts go out to you. The look of this polish is just beautiful. I've been so attracted to deepened, almost smoky looking polishes for the last little while. And this one seems really quite special, being that deep navy base that somehow has that smoky effect to it. I think it's really quite special. The fact that this one also does contribute a little bit of fundraising money to an LA Fire Foundation or charity. I'm not sure at this point which one it might be, but that also helps me with the decision-making process when it comes to whittling down my wish list. I think this one is beautiful, and it really does help that there is an element of this polish that will be going towards a good cause. This polish is by Polish for Days, Salamandra. This next item up is a top coat, and this one is by Cuticula in Poisoned Apple. This month it's inspired by Snow White, and the scent is described as a truly intoxicating scent of fresh apples with a poison twist of sweet cherries, strawberries, raspberry, and sweet red currants. This one is a top coat that I really love. I find it a little bit harder for me to acquire here in Canada. I can purchase it from Polish Pickup. I can also purchase it directly from Cuticula, and I've done both of those things in the past. But for me, this time, I have to get it. It's a scent that I know I would love. Apples are probably my number one favorite food in the whole world, and I love apple scents. I think this one sounds really fresh, and I ran out of my last bottle of Cuticula's top coat a long time ago, and I'd really love to add it back into my collection. This top coat is by Cuticula in the scent Poisoned Apple. This next item up is another top coat, and this time it's by Glisten and Glow, and this one is their glitter grabber. So the description says that the Glisten and Glow glitter grabber is an amazing product that gets applied after any glitter or flaky dense manicure is done, and it's fully dry and before your top coat. It aids in creating a smoother surface for your top coat or matte top coat, all while grabbing that extra texture. So for me, I actually owned this product quite a while ago. It was a very, very early on purchase that I made when I first started shopping Polish Pickup a number of years ago. But I ran out a while ago, and I've been trying other brands since. Some brands I've liked, some brands I haven't liked quite as much. But I remember being really amazed by the quality of this product, which was actually the first glitter smoothing top coat I had ever tried. Now, I ran out so long ago that I can't really totally remember how well I liked the glitter grabbing experience from this product, but if my memory does serve me correctly, I really did enjoy it. I need a new glitter smoothing top coat in my collection. I find that I've been wearing quite a few textured polishes over the last couple of months, and I've really been missing having a good quality glitter smoothing top coat to go over top of them. So this one on my wish list this month, I think, is quite a must-have. This one is the top coat by Glisten and Glow. It's their glitter grabber. This final item on my wish list this month is by Zombie Claw, and it's called Persephone. Reading the description here, it seems to say that it's inspired by Persephone and eating pomegranate seeds, and it's described as a plump pomegranate base with black flakies. Now, this is a finish that I know Zombie Claw has kind of become known for, and I don't own a single one in this type of finish. This one totally appeals to me. I vividly see pomegranate here. It's so rich and vampy and mysterious. I really love the overall look of it. Now, the one thing I'm wondering a little bit about is just my budget at this point. I'd love to give this formula a try because I know it's incredibly popular. People who love it, and they tend to buy it in many different colors. I do kind of wonder, though, if I could achieve kind of a similar look with a jelly polish as well as some sort of a black flaky top coat. I realize it will never quite look exactly the same, but I kind of wonder if maybe I could play around a little bit with my collection to see if I could get a look that would at least sort of satisfy this need. It is incredibly tempting, though, to try this very popular type of finish from Zombie Claw, especially when I love the look of it so much. It really does look plump and juicy and vampy, just totally gorgeous. This one is by Zombie Claw, Persephone. So that's it for the 16 items on my wish list this month. Now, I have to say, I'm being quite cautious this month. I went in and I'm continuing to enjoy the process of taking a look at all the items and dreaming big and making a wish list of really everything that if money were no object, I could get. Now, unfortunately, right now, money definitely is an object. And actually now more than ever, I'm not quite sure about the status at this point of the proposed tariffs that may be going in between Canada and the United States. It could be quite a large hit to us here in Canada. And I'm not quite sure overall how this might impact my overall budget, not just a Polish budget. So I have to be really, very careful. I have to keep in mind that things could change in a blink. And because of that, I might actually be wise to start considering skipping months. This is not a month that I'd like to skip. I know that there's several items on my wish list that are high priority for me. There are some nail essentials. I mean, really essentials, but for my collection, I do need them at this point. Things like the 2 top coats, the one by Cuticula and also the glitter smoothing top coat by Glisten and Glow, their glitter grabbing top coat. Also, there are a couple of top ranking polishes that I would love to own. And there's several others that I just can't get my mind off of. Polishes like the Night Owl lacquer, the BCB lacquer. And there's something about that cupcake polish where it keeps jumping up into my top 3 and then drifting off. I do have a lot of thinking to do. I have a lot of video swatches to try to look out for. And I also have a lot of, unfortunately, some news to listen to see if shopping this month is even really realistic for me. So I'm wondering, are you planning on shopping Polish Pickup this month? If you are, which items are catching your eye? I'd love to know all your thoughts. Also, I'd love to know your thoughts about my wish list. In particular, have you had any experience with Pinnacle Polish? If you have, I'd love to know all about your experience, the types of finishes that you like from them, but not just that. I'm curious about your thoughts on my wish list as a whole. Help me out a little bit. And if I was to only buy just a small handful, maybe 3 or 4 items, which ones would you be most drawn to out of my wish list? Help me narrow it down a little bit. Leave all your comments below and we can continue on the conversation long after. If you enjoy nail-related content, please consider subscribing. I release nail-related content as often as I can, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the fun. Thank you so much for joining me this month. Happy shopping. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.